Hi, Dan. Thanks for coming to Madison Oneida BOCES and doing this interview for us. Tell me your name and the company you work for.
My name is Dan Schertz. I'm the general manager for the Oneida Automotive Group here in Oneida. We have 6 franchises located from Oneida all the way to Rome, starting with the Ford store, Toyota, Buick GMC, our Chrysler store, our Chevy store, newly acquired, the old Wilbur Duck in Oneida, and then our Rome Volkswagen store, which we acquired about 3 years ago.
Wow, that's a lot. There's a lot of opportunity there.
Yes, we've been growing a lot in the past 5 years, absolutely.
As a student in the auto body program, what kind of skills do I need to come and work at NIE?
Well, we've actually been catering to a lot of colleges and tech schools for auto body and for master technicians, certified technicians, even entry-level technicians to come in and actually grow into the force. We do need people that have certification through ASC certs that eventually they can get and groom up to once they graduate college. We do have programs, internal programs, where you can come in, starting on the bottom, work your way up through the ladder. Ford and Toyota specifically do have very good programs for the students to take to work their way up the ladder, eventually making it to become a master level certified technician, which we are in desperate need of, absolutely.
And it doesn't matter which dealership, they're all in need.
Correct. Every franchise, not just us, but I think within the entire automotive industry, the franchises are actually looking for other ways to groom and actually create these technicians that are very skilled. The economy is losing tradesmen, and this is definitely a trade that we do need.
So would I need a high school diploma?
Typically, yes, I would believe you do. You do have to have some type of a diploma because in order to move up, you have to have that starting block. And the high school diploma is definitely a building block to moving up in that particular field because it is very technical. A lot of computer skills are needed, a lot of versatility with regards to all the different franchises, different vehicles, and understanding a lot. So it's not an easy position to fill, and certainly not an easy job to do, but it definitely is rewarding down the road.
So if I come there and I only have a high school diploma, and I want to work up through the ranks, what are the salary ranges for me from beginning to
Sure.
working?
Well, it's funny you say that because we just took on a couple new entry-level technicians. There are TXM technicians, so basically they're going to learn how to, and these are people that have had the skills. Possibly just out of BOCES, maybe little skills, be able to do the brakes, the tires, that kind of stuff, rotations, oil changes. So entry level, you're going to be an hourly wage till you get in the door. So typically that's between $12 and $15 an hour right now, depending on your skills. But as you progress through, there's a thing called flat rate, which effectively it's a little bit of a confusing way of I guess explaining a pay rate for somebody. But if you're a technician, an A, B, or a C technician, you would get what's called a flat rate pay. So you're paid based on the hours that the job is book rated to do. So if the brake job is book rated for 2 hours, but you can do it in maybe an hour, you're getting paid for 2 hours, even though it took you 1 hour. You're going to get paid for 2 hours. So if your pay rate, it actually increases your hourly wage based on the skill sets that you have. So we have an A-level tech, a B-level tech, and a C-level tech. All those techs have different classifications within those levels, and each of those levels has a different pay rate. The senior master techs upwards of $30 to $35 an hour, and again that is flat rate. So if a senior tech, our average senior masters would probably turn, if I had to guess, 60 to 70 hours a week, but they're only working 40. So you work 40, but you can actually clock 60, 70. We have a gentleman that's pushing 100 hours a week because he's very, very dedicated. But he works hard. He puts his mind into everything he does. He's quick. He's very fluent with it. So he does turn 100 hours a week at his pay rate, where he only works 40 to 50 hours.
Wow.
So you can literally double your hourly income based on how well you produce and perform at the job. And it all comes with your brain.
And would I be able to have to grow with that? If I started out at low level, would I be able to grow through the company and work my way up?
Yes, absolutely. You absolutely can do that. You would start at the entry level spot. You would then move your way up, and it could take months, could take years to move up. based on your skill ability and the fact that you would take these certifications. Ford, Toyota, Volkswagen, Chrysler, Chevy, GMC, they all have classes that you would be able to take, training classes. We also send these employees to off-site classes to actually train. So you would actually go to Buffalo, Rochester, where they have a site set up. You would go there for 2 or 3 days, sometimes 4 to 5 a week. It depends on what you're certifying in. Once you finish the class, you get a certification level. Then you come back and then you're in that ability. We only have a few Prius right now certifications that people can actually do the Prius vehicles, the hybrids. It's very difficult, a lot of technical training, and in order to be certified, you do have to go to these courses. So as far as moving up as a technician, absolutely you can move up, and that's how you do it. But then once you've accelerated to the master technician level and you've understood all this, you can actually move on to become management at some point, and then manage the technicians and manage the shop flow and work your way up the ladder. Absolutely you can.
That's awesome.
All with a high school diploma. Starts there.
And you have our auto tech students embedded right at
Yes.
NIE, so those students probably have a little bit upper hand, would we say?
Well, with us, they do. 100%. We do get them in. We've had very good success with the majority of them. A few of them have actually left to go to Tennessee. I think things are booming in Tennessee, but you can't frown on that because they're doing what's best for them. But definitely they do have the upper hand because they know what they're walking into. They understand the process, the flow, and they're getting paid all while they do it, I believe. So, quite frankly, they do get paid. They come in and they're actually above an entry level, so to speak, when they actually start because they have the ability, the skill, and they already know what's going on. And we know them too, so we can actually offer them, based on what their skill set is, a wage that actually works for what their level is. 100%.
Very cool. So do you check any social media accounts for any new hires, any young people that you bring in?
100% we do. Sometimes I forget. And then when we get them in for the second interview, somebody reminds me that, hey, did you see this? 100% we do. We certainly don't mind people having freedom of expression, freedom of speech. It's what it's all about. This is the United States. However, that being said, we do frown upon people that might put some negative comments or be very brash or rough to the public and not think about what their personal reflection on what everybody sees is out there. Because I've had people that are very, very direct on social media, and then customers or people would see that and then come to us and complain. So yes, social media is a huge factor in how we hire. We look for, honestly, just clean-cut people that want a job and don't want any kind of drama, so to speak. They don't have a lot of issues in their personal life, and they put all over the social media accounts because that tends to bleed back over into the workforce and the dealership. So we try to avoid that as much as possible.
Perfect. That's kind of what we share. So if you're hiring, would I go look on LinkedIn, Indeed? How would I know that you're hiring?
We do Indeed. We do a lot of. You could probably always find us on Indeed because honestly, with 6 stores and 230 employees, we are constantly having a lot of movement within the company, whether it be retirees, whether it be people that just are moving again to Tennessee or other states where it might be more viable for them. We definitely always have positions available. It's never ending. And as far as the trade goes with service, we are always looking for qualified service technicians, either entry level or skilled. It really depends on where you're at, but we're always looking 100%. So I would say definitely the job boards, but also our website. You can always go to any one of our websites at NIAuto.com, fill out an employee application. It comes directly to the supervisors. We review them. We contact those that are qualified or if we're looking for that position. If not, we put it on file, and then down the road, we'll absolutely contact people as we need once the positions become available.
Mm-hmm. And if I get hired, do I have to buy my own tools or uniform and that kind of thing?
It depends. In the beginning, no. I mean, if you're coming in as an entry level, we do provide the basic necessities just to do what you are required to do, that being the oil changes, tire rotations, wheel balance, that kind of stuff. The basic stuff we do have the shop tools for. If you get into the more technical jobs, yes, at some point as a certified technician, you are required to maintain your own tools because the tools, I'm not a mechanic, but they really love their tools. So they're kind of particular. So they don't want to loan their tools out, but they also want to borrow someone's tools. So I think it's a mechanic thing where they just really want to have their big ensemble of every tool needed. Some of the toolbox, I'm not kidding you, they are 6 feet tall and 10 feet wide. It's amazing. But those are the tools needed to do the job. And some of these technicians, over the years, they've built up $40,000, $50,000 worth of tools. It's a car, but it's their livelihood, it's their life, and they take pride in that. So it's really neat to see, and quite frankly, there's a lot of financing options for these folks to get these tools. They do that, they work hard. Again, turn 100 hours a week, and you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've answered all of my questions, but what I would like is, what do you have to share with our students, whoever watches this, whatever class they're in, if they're interested in this, or, how did you get started there? Maybe, what motivated you to go?
Honestly, I probably couldn't tell you what got me into it. I bumped into somebody in the car business. That's the comical bit about it. I went to college for architecture. That's my background. I should be designing houses and all that kind of stuff in the basement, believe it or not. But when I finished college, I worked for a company that did windows. I was an architectural consultant for a window company. I met a guy in the car business. I fixed his house, his problems, and he says, you'd be really good in the car business. I says, really? Because I'm sick of what I'm doing. So I interviewed with him and his boss. He got me in the car business, and I never looked back. So it's been a pretty incredible journey. I started right at the bottom, worked my way up the ladder, and quite frankly, anybody could do it. It's not impossible. Speaking to the folks watching this video, I would honestly say, do what makes you happy. I mean, seriously, if you love working on cars, work on cars. If you love baking, start a bake shop. Do what you love. Because quite frankly, that was my problem. I went and did what I thought was kind of neat, and I fell in love with the car business. And now here I am in the car business. So I think it's definitely a good starting block for somebody who doesn't know what they want to do, because we have a lot of different positions: salespeople, parts counter associates, delivery drivers, mechanics, finance managers, sales managers. I mean, there's all kinds of different facets in an auto dealership. More so than if you just go to Walmart and you're stocking shelves or doing that kind of stuff. We have a lot of different available options. So definitely would be something to look at.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming here.
Yeah.
We appreciate everything that you do for us.
I can't wait to meet some of your students. And again, if you want, nyauto.com. Take a look there. You can check out our website, check out our Facebook page, and if you get time, give us a good Google review, because we're always looking for that.
Awesome.
Social media, it's a big thing. So, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yep.